Hey guys, welcome back to another video with Merlin, a 4-year-old Devil's Garden wild Mustang that I've been gentling. In my last video, we had just had a breakthrough with Merlin becoming more comfortable around ropes and with touch. Leading up to that was quite the struggle, as Merlin was really anxious with any kind of touch around his side, hindquarters, and legs. This took a lot of persistence, but I'm happy to be out of this stage and moving on to more relaxation now. I apologize for the crooked camera angle. It kills me that iMovie does not have the rotate function to fix this. I'm continuing to really build on the desensitizing that I've already done with Merlin. This took a little bit to get him used to the rope going over his head, but you can see he's settled in pretty well. I'm really taking my time desensitizing and trying to be as thorough and repetitive as I can. He's still pretty sensitive around his back and hindquarters, and I'm not yet touching with my hands or even placing my body near those areas. Until I see him more solid and consistently relaxed with my tools touching him, I'm not going to be getting any closer. So he's been pretty good until this point. This is where I'm now working on desensitizing more of his back and moving towards the hindquarters. This makes him nervous, so he backs away, and I just try my best to stay with him and keep my rhythm. He stopped moving, so I gave him a little release before going back at it. I can't tell you how many times I've adjusted or changed my approach with him. There's been a lot of figuring it out on the way. I've definitely had to adapt for him. Right there, I really liked his response to that rope slinging over his back, so I retreated and went back to something that he was a little bit more comfortable with. Right here, I was able to get the rope a little further on his back, and I would love to be able to swing it over his hindquarters and then put a little pressure on and have him turn around, but he had other plans, and I just let the rope go because I saw that it wasn't going to end how I would like it to end. I kept working on it, and you can see that we were able to make a little bit of progress with the ropes going further on his back. Once I get the rope over his hindquarters, I want to put a little bit of pressure on and have him learn to give to that pressure and turn and face me. I've worked through this with a few other horses, and usually after experiencing this a few times and finding where the release is, they become a lot more confident with ropes going over their hindquarters. I had to rewatch that to see what the heck happened there. These shoes have almost zero tread left, so I think they're just a little too worn. Anyway, that obviously did not go as planned, so I kept trying. And right there, he finally figured it out. We did this a few more times and he got better and better. Although it happened slowly, Merlin continued to grow quieter and quieter with each and every day, and it was finally time for him to leave the pen. He was such a well-behaved horse on his first time out. This felt like a major achievement, as it's been a lot more work to get him to this point than it was for Jaeger. I may have been able to bring him out a little bit earlier, but I really wanted to ensure that he was ready for this. It will probably be a while before I feel confident to turn him out to pasture, as he still needs to get better at haltering. Right now I'm still haltering him with positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement has done exactly what I've needed it to do. It's enabled me to be able to put the halter on wild Mustangs and then take it from there with negative reinforcement. I'm sure you'll be seeing more of that in the future. It's been nice to see so much green again, at least while it's here. Vermont has had a literal plague of these gypsy moth caterpillars. I cannot stand them. They're literally falling out of trees, and one just fell on me here. But they're in the process of stripping our trees of leaves. Here I'm adding a new tool to desensitize with, a bath towel. Eventually I would love to be able to do this with a tarp, but for right now I want something that's going to be silent. A tarp has the challenges of touch and sound, and since Merlin already struggles with touch a bit, I don't want to add the sound in as well. As you probably guessed, this was of course lots and lots of repetitions. Also, isn't it fun seeing Jaeger graze in the background? He is one happy horse. That's a really nice color on him. It's like a purple popsicle or a raspberry popsicle. You can see that Merlin's become a lot more relaxed while doing this, and I switched to the other side. This is now his bad side, so I want to spend a little bit more time here. Watch the level of his head and his facial expressions here. You can slowly see him move into a state of relaxation. I'm not sure how easy it is for you to see in these videos, but from my perspective as the trainer, I have never seen him this relaxed with me on his bad side. I was so happy to see him like this. He was in a totally different headspace than what he's been in previously, and I was really just taking my time with this and letting the towel slowly drag across his hindquarters and all over his body. So this was really exciting for me. I really hope you can see the change in his demeanor and the relaxation that he's experiencing and compare it to how he was earlier on, especially during that setback that he had. Even if this change looks small on camera, it feels huge in real life. I left this session feeling really good. I felt like we had another mini breakthrough and we had reached a new level of relaxation and trust. I took a little break and then we resumed with another exercise. I had taught him this exercise on a previous day off camera, and this is his second time doing it. This exercise is called circle driving and is a compilation of several other exercises. Basically, we're working on yielding the hindquarters, sending out, maintaining a personal space boundary, and softening to the halter. As he improves in this exercise, he'll start to develop a nice bend in his body. Here you can see he's not nearly as anxious as he used to be. Because I could see this shift in him becoming more comfortable and relaxed with me, I felt more confident about being able to touch him with my hands, reaching further back on his body than I've ever touched before, and even down onto his legs. And even on his bad side. This moment was really exciting for me. It was a real breakthrough. You can see me continually checking back on his face to see how he's handling my touch. I'm paying special attention to him as I reach onto new and untouched areas. Whenever I reach to touch a more sensitive spot, I always retreat quickly back to a more comfortable area. I don't want to linger too long in an area that makes him uncomfortable. You can see that as a precaution, I've tilted his head a little bit towards me, which makes it a little bit safer to reach towards his hindquarters. This was a really awesome training day and definitely a milestone in his training journey. And the next day built on this success to solidify our progress. Notice Merlin continually dropping his head as he relaxes while I do this. This is on his bad side, yet I now feel comfortable enough to put both hands in his mane and create these braids. He really has a beautiful mane and tail. Okay, look at this. I've never seen a horse's forelock have a knot like this. I've always seen it in their mane. Oh, look at this. Is this your bed head? Look at that. I went ahead and detangled and braided his forelock. I have to admit, he looks horrible with this braided forelock. Absolutely horrible. Probably the worst braided forelock I've ever seen. I will never, ever, ever put another braid in that forelock. Anyway, the point of this clip is to show you the new levels of relaxation that he's finally reached. He really is a different horse now. He still loves these face rubs. He's also been working on helping me out as I take off the halter by tilting his head slightly towards me. I love this sweet, quiet horse he's turning into. Anyway, that's all for now. I'll see you in another video.